"You are not even trying to understand how stressful this is for me," she screamed when I suggested we cut back on expenses. So I decided to test her love by losing everything, and lost her exactly as quickly as I expected. I am Cameron, 34M, a software engineer at a tech company in Seattle. I make good money, $120K, own my house, well, the bank and I do, and have always been the type of guy who enjoys taking care of the people I care about. Maybe too much. Looking back, my girlfriend Vanessa, 26F, and I have been together for almost 2 years. We met at a coffee shop where she worked part-time while figuring out her career path. She was beautiful, fun, and seemed genuinely into me. She was the one who asked for my number, and our first few dates were simple. She even insisted on paying for herself, which I thought was refreshing. Things changed gradually. About 3 months in, her car broke down, and the repair costs were just too much right now. I offered to help, and she initially refused, saying she didn't want to be that girl. But after some gentle insistence from me, she accepted with the most grateful smile I had ever seen. She made me dinner that night, told me how amazing I was, and made me feel like her hero. That was the beginning of a pattern I was too blind to see. Over the next few months, her financial emergencies became more frequent. Her hours at the coffee shop got cut. Her roommate moved out unexpectedly. Her laptop died when she was just about to start an online course. Each time, I stepped in to help, and each time, she showed her appreciation in ways that made me feel needed and valued. By our 1-year anniversary, I was paying for most of our dates, covering half her rent temporarily, and had loaned her my second car indefinitely. She had quit her coffee shop job to focus on finding her passion. With my support, of course. I have always been somewhat loose with money. My father showed love through financial support rather than words, and I internalized that. My expenses were already high, mortgage on a nice house, decent car, tech gadgets, and I had refinanced last year, so the extra spending didn't immediately alarm me. My sister Michelle, a financial advisor, was the first to raise concerns. After dinner one night, while Vanessa was in another room, Michelle asked to see my accounts. Reluctantly, I pulled up my bank statements. She did the math quickly. I had spent over $40,000 on Vanessa in 18 months. Between rent assistance, car expenses, expensive dinners, designer clothes for networking events, and various emergencies, it had added up without me tracking it all together. "When is the last time she paid for anything for you?" Michelle asked. I couldn't remember. When is the last time she seemed just as happy doing something free as something expensive? I couldn't answer that either. The conversation bothered me, but I pushed it aside. Vanessa loved me, right? She was just going through a tough time. Then came my buddy Derek's birthday at a casual bar. Vanessa texted that she suddenly wasn't feeling well and would stay home. Later that night, I saw her Instagram story. She was out with her friend Taylor at an upscale cocktail bar downtown. When confronted, she got defensive. "I didn't feel well for your thing." But then Taylor called and said she needed me. I started feeling better, so I went. "Why are you monitoring my social media?" I started paying more attention to Vanessa's behavior as the days went by. A clear pattern emerged that I couldn't ignore anymore. I noticed how her affection would bloom after expensive dates, or when I gave her lavish gifts, her eyes lighting up and her touch lingering longer than usual. Yet whenever I suggested more budget-friendly activities like hiking or cooking at home, she would become noticeably distant, suddenly remembering deadlines or claiming fatigue. It was striking how animated she became at the mere mention of potential bonuses or promotions at my job, asking detailed questions about the financial implications, while completely zoning out when I tried discussing actual work challenges or achievements that didn't translate to immediate monetary gain. The contrast became impossible to dismiss. Her interest seemed directly proportional to what I could provide financially, rather than any genuine concern for me as a person. The breaking point came when I got a promotion. I was excited about the new responsibilities, but when I told Vanessa, she hugged me and said, "That is amazing, babe. I am so proud of you." Then immediately asked, "How much more will you be making?" Her eyes had that gleam I recognized from when she saw something expensive she wanted. I decided to test my theory. With my friend Brad's help, I created a scenario that would reveal Vanessa's true feelings. I told her my car needed major repairs, about $5,000 worth. Her immediate response: "Cannot you ask your parents for help?" Not "how can I help?" Just pushing the problem elsewhere. But I wasn't convinced yet, so I took it further. I started suggesting cheaper restaurants, mentioning the need to budget, and proposing Netflix nights instead of going out. Her affection cooled dramatically. The final test came 2 weeks ago. With Derek's help creating a convincing story, I told Vanessa I had been laid off due to company restructuring. Her response still makes my stomach turn. "This is temporary, right? You will find something soon." Her voice had a panicked edge I had never heard before. No comfort. No, we will get through this together. Just fear that her meal ticket might disappear. Over the next week, she suggested I move back with my parents to save money. That is, get me out of my house. She started talking about taking a break. She was suddenly too busy to come over most nights. The nail in the coffin? Derek caught her on Tinder. 1 week after I supposedly lost my job, she was already looking for a replacement provider. I haven't confronted her yet. She still thinks I am broke and desperately job hunting, while I am actually working from home on a special project. Tomorrow night, Vanessa's coming over because I told her I have important news about our future. We'll update after the confrontation. Update 1. Sorry for the delay. Things have been even crazier than expected. After posting, I got an overwhelming number of messages and needed time to process everything before writing this out. The confrontation with Vanessa didn't go as planned. I cooked a simple dinner with a $15 wine, contrast to our usual $50 plus bottles she preferred. I recorded the conversation on my phone based on your suggestions. Vanessa showed up 30 minutes late, dressed casually, the first time in months. She barely kissed me hello before asking, "So what is this important news? Did you find a job?" The eagerness in her voice was telling. Throughout dinner, she kept checking her phone and giving one-word answers. When I tried to talk about my job search, she barely looked up. This was the same woman who would hang on my every word when I talked about bonuses. After dinner, I sat her down. "I have been thinking about us and our relationship." She tensed up. "Look, if this is about the money situation, I just think we both need to be realistic. Sometimes people need space to figure things out." "Space?" I asked. "Are you saying you want to break up?" She looked away, her tone suddenly careful. "I am not saying that exactly. I just think maybe we should take a break while you sort out your situation." I nodded slowly. "So, now that I have lost my job and cannot afford to take you to nice restaurants or help with your rent, you want to take a break?" Her face flushed. "You are twisting my words. This isn't about money, isn't it?" I showed her the screenshots Derek sent me, her Tinder profile, created days after I told her I had lost my job. "You had your friend spy on me?" "What the hell, Cameron?" "Answer the question, Vanessa." "I was just browsing. I wasn't meeting anyone, and maybe I was looking because my boyfriend suddenly turned into a different person." "You are stressed. Negative. Not the same guy I fell for." "You mean, I am not the same ATM you fell for?" I said quietly. She stood up angrily. "Fuck you. I loved you for you." That is when I laid my cards on the table. "Vanessa, I didn't lose my job. There was no layoff. I am still employed, still making my same salary, and actually got approved for a promotion next quarter." Her face cycled through confusion, disbelief, then calculation. You could practically see the gears turning. "What? Why would you lie about something like that?" Her voice had completely changed. Softer now, with that sweetness she showed when wanting something. "I was testing a theory. I wanted to see if you loved me or my wallet. Turns out, it was never me." "That is insane," she whispered. "You made up a story just to test me. That is manipulative and cruel." I laughed. "Manipulative and cruel, like pretending to love someone while using them as a meal ticket? Like creating a dating profile a week after your boyfriend loses his job? Like suggesting he move out of his own house?" She switched tactics instantly. Tears appeared. I was scared, Cameron. I panicked. Financial security is important to me. Financial security is important to everyone, I replied. But most people don't abandon their partners the minute money gets tight. I didn't abandon you. I am here, aren't I? I made a mistake. Please, give me another chance. I love you, not your money. For a second, I almost wavered. She looked so sincere. But then I remembered her Instagram from the previous night, a photo of an expensive cocktail captioned "Ready for an upgrade." I showed her the screenshot. Were you talking about your phone or your boyfriend? Her face hardened. The tears vanished. You are such an asshole. You have been testing me and stalking my social media. This whole relationship has been a lie. Yes, it has. I agreed. But not in the way you think. I pulled up my banking app and showed her the tagged expenses. Vanessa car repair, Vanessa rent, and on and on. Over $40,000 in 18 months, compared to the single $15 gift card she had gotten me for my birthday. I don't want your money back, I told her. I just want you to know that I see you clearly now. She grabbed her purse. You need therapy, Cameron. This is psychotic behavior, as she headed for the door. I called after her, by the way. I will need my car back by the end of the week. She whirled around. That was a gift. Check the registration, I replied calmly. It is still in my name. The look of pure rage on her face was unforgettable. She slammed the door so hard a picture fell off the wall. I sat alone, feeling empty. 2 years of what I thought was love, all based on what I could provide rather than who I am. My phone exploded with texts. Apparently, Vanessa had immediately called Taylor, who started a group chat with our mutual friends, telling them I had gone psycho and made up a story about losing my job to trap her. Some believed her. Others reached out for my side. Derek came over with a 6-pack an hour later. How you holding up? Part of me is relieved. Part of me wonders if I am the idiot who didn't see what was right in front of me for 2 years. 2 days later, I came home to find Vanessa had used her key to get into my house while I was gone. She had taken some of her things, but also items that weren't hers, including my grandfather's watch and, bizarrely, all my power cords. When I called about the watch, she denied taking it. I bluffed about having a security camera in my bedroom. I don't, and threatened police involvement. The watch mysteriously appeared on my porch the next morning. I changed locks, passwords, and contacted the DMV about the car situation. She had been driving with an expired license for months. Yesterday, I ran into Taylor at the grocery store. She cornered me. Vanessa told me everything. You made up losing your job just to test her. That is manipulative bullshit. Did she mention she was on Tinder a week later, or suggested I move out of my own house? Taylor hesitated, then doubled down. She was right to look elsewhere. You are clearly unstable. I walked away, but she called after me. You know she has been talking to your boss, right? Telling him all about your mental health episodes. I felt sick. Would Vanessa really try to sabotage my career out of revenge? I have started documenting everything and contacted HR to get ahead of potential accusations. Our friends are divided, with some taking her side and others believing me. The most surprising development: a text from Elizabeth, Michelle's friend, who I have met at family gatherings, asking if I wanted coffee sometime. Michelle admitted she had told Elizabeth about my situation. She is nothing like Vanessa, Michelle assured me. She is a software engineer too, makes her own money, and has been single after breaking up with a guy who was using her for money. The irony wasn't lost on me. I told Michelle, I am not ready to date yet. But maybe in time, right now. I am focused on protecting myself from whatever Vanessa might do next. Update 2. It has been 3 weeks since my last update. Work has been intense, and dealing with the Vanessa situation has consumed my free time. The day after my last update, I discovered Vanessa had contacted my company. According to HR rep Lisa, Vanessa claimed I was having manic episodes and had become dangerously obsessive after our breakup. Lisa called me in privately. I need to ask something delicate. Do you have mental health issues that might affect your work? I explained the situation. Lisa wasn't immediately supportive as I had hoped, but professionally neutral. "I understand this is difficult personally," she said, "but I need to document this conversation and open a file. Company policy when there are accusations, even if they seem unfounded." It was humiliating. I provided my timeline document and offered to bring witnesses who could corroborate my version. "That will not be necessary right now, but we will need to monitor the situation." I left feeling like I was on probation for something I didn't do. My boss was informed, and I could tell he was watching me more closely. 2 days later, colleagues received emails from Vanessa with links to evidence of my unstable behavior. Our IT flagged them as potential phishing. Those who received them were confused about why my ex was sending bizarre compilations of out-of-context messages. It was not pleased. Dave from security pulled me aside. "We cannot have this spilling into company communications. It creates security risks and disrupts work. Handle your personal issues outside the office." Meanwhile, when I requested my car back, Vanessa responded, "I need it to get to work. You can have it back when I find something else." I reminded her it was registered in my name. Her response, "Try and take it. See what happens." I contacted a lawyer who confirmed my right to reclaim it and suggested a formal letter requesting its return. This only escalated things. Vanessa started moving the car around. When I located it at Taylor's complex, it had a dent and key scratches. With my lawyer's guidance, I reported the car as withheld. The police were reluctant to get involved in a domestic dispute, but the report created a paper trail. The next day, I received a video showing someone pouring something into my car's gas tank with the text, "Still want your car back." I forwarded this to police and lawyer. Now it was clear vandalism and property destruction. The police assigned a detective to investigate. The car was recovered 2 days later, abandoned across town. Sugar in the gas tank, slashed seats, and asshole keyed into the hood. Insurance is processing the claim. Meanwhile, Vanessa's social media campaign against me intensified with references to narcissistic men who test their girlfriends and escaping toxic relationships. Our mutual friends took sides. Most who knew me well stuck by me, but her friends rallied around her, adding comments about believing women and supporting victims. The most hurtful betrayal came from Jason, my friend since college. He texted, "I know you are going through something, but the way you treated V was seriously messed up. I need space from our friendship." When I tried explaining, he wouldn't listen. "She showed us the texts. The things you said, the way you tested her. It is not cool." On the positive side, I have reconnected with friends I had neglected during my relationship. Derek has been my rock, even staying over some weekends out of concern. He spotted Vanessa's car parked near my house at 2 a.m. once. I have installed security cameras, which have captured Vanessa approaching my door twice when I wasn't home. Financially, I am recovering. With Vanessa gone, my monthly expenses dropped 40%. I never realized how much I was spending on her. Yesterday, I received an email from Rebecca. Vanessa's ex-roommate from years ago. I recognized the pattern. Vanessa did the same to her boyfriend before you, a guy named Alex. She lived off him, then left when he lost his job due to medical issues. She told everyone he was abusive for sympathy. This morning, Vanessa texted, "We need to talk. I am pregnant." I don't believe her. The timing is too convenient. I haven't responded yet and am consulting my lawyer about how to proceed. Final update: it has been 2 months since my last update. The situation with Vanessa has mostly resolved, though not without additional drama. The pregnancy claim: after consulting my lawyer, I responded, "If you are pregnant, I will need medical verification. Please have your doctor contact mine." I included my doctor's number. She sent photos of what looked like positive tests. My lawyer advised maintaining the verification request. After a week of alternating between anger, "You don't trust me," and emotional appeals, "Don't you care about our baby?" she finally agreed to meet at a clinic. The day before our appointment, she canceled, claiming she lost the baby due to stress. When I requested medical confirmation of this too, she exploded, admitting the whole thing was fabricated to get me talking to her again. With this latest manipulation, we had enough for a restraining order. The judge granted a temporary order, which became permanent after Vanessa tried painting herself as the victim in court. The evidence was overwhelming. The restraining order was her wake-up call. Her posts about me stopped. According to friends, she has moved to Portland to start fresh. Conveniently, after I provided her new workplace with police reports when they called for a reference check. Yes, she listed me as a reference, believing I wouldn't dare speak negatively about her for fear of looking petty. The car. Insurance covered the vandalism, but the mechanic found issues that would cost more to fix than it was worth. I took the payout and didn't replace it. Work has been complicated. The HR investigation concluded, but there is a note in my file. A few colleagues still give me strange looks, wondering what happened. My boss has been professionally supportive but distant. During my recent review, he mentioned that while my work remains excellent, he has concerns about bringing personal drama into the workplace. The team lead position I was being considered for went to someone else, though he insisted it was because the other candidate had more management experience. Socially, things have stabilized. Jason reached out after hearing about the fake pregnancy. I owe you an apology. I should have heard your side before judging. I appreciated his honesty, but kept some emotional distance. 2 other friends never came around. One even suggesting my test was emotional abuse regardless of what followed. I have accepted not everyone will see my side. Derek remains my closest friend through all this. The weekend camping trip he dragged me on gave me perspective. I hadn't realized how much energy it took to maintain Vanessa's happiness constantly. Michelle has focused on helping me rebuild financially. According to her, I can recover the lost money within a year if I stay on track. Elizabeth and I continue meeting occasionally for coffee. It is refreshingly straightforward. We split bills without discussion and enjoy each other's company without transactional dynamics. I am not calling it dating yet, but I am open to possibilities. I have reflected on how I ended up with Vanessa. I have always equated providing with caring from watching my dad show love through financial support rather than emotional connection. With Vanessa, I felt needed when solving her problems with money, creating a cycle hard to break until it became impossible to ignore. Looking back, I am not proud of how I tested her. While her reaction confirmed my suspicions, there were more straightforward ways to address concerns. The fake job loss was manipulative, even if responding to her manipulation. 2 wrongs don't make a right, and it gave her ammunition afterward. I have heard from many men with similar experiences. Their stories help me feel less alone and less foolish. I am rebuilding trust in others and my judgment through therapy, learning to establish healthier boundaries and recognize the difference between generosity and being taken advantage of. Vanessa tells a different story in Portland, one where she left me due to controlling behavior and financial abuse. It is frustrating but not surprising. People like her rarely take responsibility. There is always a narrative where they are the victim. The good news, her narrative no longer affects my daily life. The restraining order, her move, and time have created the distance needed to heal and move forward. I am cautiously optimistic about the future, more careful with money and trust, but trying not to become cynical. Not everyone is like Vanessa. Some people want connection, not just provision. This will be my final update. It is time to close this chapter and focus on writing a better one.